Hello everyone and welcome back to another chart planning update video. In this video I'm going to be going over specifically Mara, but as well as Bitcoin just for correlation reasons, and then I'm going to finish off with MSTR just because I haven't really gave my opinion on that one in a while. But just remember guys, everything in this video is my own personal opinion. It is not financial advice because I can definitely be wrong. It has happened in the past, but with that said, let's go ahead and get started. There was this one news article I saw. It's not new to you guys, but I found it today. Trump signs executive order to explore U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is very good. It creates a lot of background bullishness, getting ready to pump the price even higher. Although, with that being said, that kind of fights the opinion I'm about to share with you guys. Just because if there's a lot of bullishness forming, we may not see this what I'm about to explain happen. Although that's another reason why it's very important to have larger term, or not larger term, but more larger picture swing trades in the background to take advantage of the overall structure that we're in, which is currently, of course, a bullish structure. But when it comes to the short term, right, we are trying to see if we can finally complete this three-wave corrective pattern where we had the first one formed. We've been keeping track of that over this WXY pattern. Then we had the B wave, which was an overshooting B wave, just like expected, very aggressively and happened very quickly. And now we're potentially trying to keep an eye on the price to see if we're going to have that final one more dip before pushing up higher and making new all-time highs. So the way this influences Mara is that as long as Bitcoin continues this three-wave corrective pattern, we can see Mara come down to a specific level, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. But if we do come up higher and we start breaking past these swing highs, that's going to invalidate the three-wave structure, and instead it will just be completely a bullish triangle pattern that's forming. So we have the triangle pattern, and then we have the three-wave pattern. So we'll see which one of these is going to be superior. But at the moment, we do see a little bit of more bearishness. We haven't seen the RSI really max out the downward side of the RSI for a while, since the 20th. And we haven't seen that on the upside either. But, right now we still have a bit more room to come down, pushing the price down even lower. But we also have that, strategic Bitcoin reserve bullishness in the background building up. But if we do see that three-wave corrective pattern, or even just seeing Bitcoin come down to the previous swing low, so it doesn't have to go down all the way to that red, we can see Mara come down and start flirting once again with this retracement area right here I have drawn for you guys. The benefit of this coming down is that it will create a much more easier to understand structure. And here's why. Here's a few touch points, right? So we had this low right here, which is lower than here, but we started moving up higher and we surpassed the swing high. So we have a higher high at the moment from here to here. We have a higher high. We're still trying to see if we're going to push up higher, but if we come down, that will create a much more clear higher low from this point, which we want to see. If we can just come down, push the RSI down even more, finally be in the closer to that 30 RSI level, that means the price should be coming down here, flirting with this area one more time, and also potentially even touching this 120 moving average that is now flat and moving sideways. From the last update video, we saw that we had this imbalance area. We were much higher, and I said it's very clear to me that we can potentially see the price come down and fill in this gap, which it did. It came down and filled in the gap. We started trending sideways just because of the Bitcoin pattern, but then at the same time, we want to see a clear structure forming, sideways movement after the RSI maxing out, and us trying to see if we're going to have another higher low forming, or if we're just going to come down and retest it. This is where it gets confusing, which is why it's very important to be patient, especially if you're in the more short-term time frame with this stock. Personally, I do not have any open positions with Mara, just because I want to see this price come down. I want to see the RSI hit that 30, flirt with that 30 level, and while that's happening, at the same time, once again, back in this channel down here and touching that 120 moving average. It's as simple as that. There's really not much else for me to say. If Bitcoin does continue to have that little bit of bearish momentum forming leading into tomorrow, Friday, the last market day of the week, that can create that opportunity that I'm looking for. But until then, I am not too comfortable taking a position because I like to hold more short term. I don't really like to hold on to it for too long. It's just not something I'm comfortable with. Unlike, a spot Bitcoin trade or something like that. But yeah, guys, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I want to see this. There's 3 points. Come back down into the retracement area, potentially near or flirt with this 120 moving average, and then also seeing that RSI relax a little bit and come back down to this 30 level potentially as well. So we'll see how that unfolds Friday, so tomorrow. And then to finish off real quick, same thing with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, same thing, guys. I have this channel right here, which is keeping track of this upward momentum. Same thing, it's actually a little bit different. We have a higher low already that formed. I want to see a more clear higher low. This is decent, but I want to see a little bit more aggressively come down to the downside. I'm not trying to be like too hopeful with this stock, even though I do believe this stock has a lot of upside momentum this year. But this is something I'm keeping an eye on as well, and we have that higher high as well. So with that being said, same thing. We had this imbalance filled, but again, I want to see this filled as well. So I want to see the orange area filled. I want to see it potentially. It doesn't have to come to the 120 moving average, but I do want to see it get near it at a minimum. And then while it's doing that, also RSI coming down and flirting with that 30 RSI level as well. So same opinion on MSTR as with Mara. Short-term bearish in my opinion, but of course, after that we can potentially, trade it back up to the more premium level of this channel, just to be more on the conservative side. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for right here. So with that being said, again, guys, it all depends on Bitcoin's momentum. We can continue to see this channel trade, or we can continue to see maybe a retest of the support area or any of these swing lows. But ideally, in an ideal world, I do want to see the 3-wave dip being formed. I do not have any aggressive positions. I have right now, I think it's just about 20,000 USDT invested in spot Bitcoin. In the background to take advantage of the overall momentum that we have in the larger picture. But when it comes to short-term trade, guys, I did day trade a little bit of BITU and SBIT today on today's live stream. But again, before I end the video, I want to see this come down a little bit. I want to see this come down. I really want to see those 3 checkpoints being checked off before I am comfortable even buying one share. Just personal preference. And then same thing with MicroStrategy, MSTR. I want to see this come down and hit those 3 checkpoints. Although the 120 in this end is a little bit more on the light side. I do not need to see this stock actually hit the 120, but it would be very, very nice. So again, it all depends on Bitcoin. So we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it makes sense. Just remember, no matter how much bullishness there is in the news, the charts are always going to do whatever the charts feel like they're going to do. So always prioritize charts, rather prioritizing the news. Because like remember back when Bitcoin, the first Bitcoin ETF was going to come out, what happened? Like there was hype, and then the prices like tanked like just after, basically. So same thing, guys. We're just waiting. Of course, this time it could be different, but we do not have an official Bitcoin reserve in the US. So until then, the price is going to do what it's going to do. And if it seems overvalued, and of course it does seem overvalued within this structure, why not, sit back, chill, and just let it come down. And if not, well, good thing, if Bitcoin pumps up, good thing we have that background not core position, but that background swing trade to take advantage of the, next leg up area. Because soon enough, rather we come down here or not, it looks like we may. This is going to be the next leg up, in my opinion. We hit it a little bit, which means we do have that bullish momentum, at least not in the short term, but we do have the bullish momentum. And then we can potentially see this area being maxed out soon. I believe February is going to be a very, very bullish month. But yeah, hope you guys are just, being patient, don't get overhyped, and just, keep an eye on the charts and just, take it easy. Do what makes most sense. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and take care.